Namo Buddhaya. I've been getting questions and I thought today is a good opportunity to cover them up. This will be maximum of 10 minutes, so I hope that you will be able to see this for all 10 minutes. We'll be covering most important questions on Buddha Dhamma in this video. So without losing any further time, let's begin with that. First one, is recitation mandatory or is it allowed in Buddha Dhamma? The answer to that is, if my mind is already occupied with something, let's say on some worldly matter or some office matter or some family matters where I'm not able to sit and concentrate or get into meditation, then the best approach, see, in meditation you have savitakka, savichara, piti, sukha, ekagata. So what it means is that savitakka, vitakka means is to discern, debate and take a decision what you need to do. Vichara is to think. Piti is to feel joy. Sukha is happiness. Then ekagata is oneness or one-pointedness. So now we will be doing this in our worldly life. This is required even on the Dhamma. So if I want to come into the Dhamma, what I need to do is to let go of the worldly things. So recitation helps me in that direction. I can recite whatever about Buddha Dhamma, but the thing would be that once I recite it, it helps me to come out of the thinking what I was having on the worldly subject or some family matters or some office matters or something like that. So it is good to recite, and it is called as Gatha. Gatha means verses. So there are a lot of verses like in the Mangala Sutta, Gathaya Ajjabhasi. So there is then that deity which has come to meet the Buddha will recite, will say in words. Now we'll come to the second question. What is the right way of observing brahmacharya in a married man or a married person? The proper way of brahmacharya, as indicated again in the Mangala Sutta, is to be with your family, which includes the children and the wife or the husband. That means not to have any illicit affair and illicit relationship with anyone, to an extent that you would not really interact with anyone with a expectation of a sexual favor or something which you would love to enjoy that person, whether it's a male or a female. If you are doing that, or if I am doing that, I'm a married person, I'm doing that, I'm losing my brahmacharya. That's number one. Number two is that if I want to proceed higher from Sotapanna to Sakadagami to Anagami, then I need to cut that as well. That means I should not, or the mind automatically cuts off the sensuality wherein the sexual feeling itself will go away. It's not by force or doing anything about it. It's by practice of brahmacharya. That means since I'm married, I have a wife and I take care of the wife. So to a certain extent, till I move from Sotapanna to Sakadagami to the Anagami, there would be some urges of sexual, but after that it automatically goes away because it cannot sustain, because the kama chanda, the interest in sensuality would not be there, and hence nothing is felt. So to answer to the question again, brahmacharya is not about celibacy alone. It's about making a pledge to be with one partner and not changing that partner at any given point in time, and not feeling that I should have some other relationship physically or mentally or both while I am still married with one. And third one, is it necessary for one to follow sila or morality all the time? Yes, it's like going to a kindergarten school. So initially, to get into the moral, that is removal of immoral deeds, we need to understand the Lokiya Dhamma. I have earlier videos which I have done on the Lokiya Dhamma. How much have you understood the world? So the Lokiya Dhamma comes with 8 things. That is, 1, I want profit, I don't want loss, I want fame, I don't want defame, I want appreciation, I don't want depreciation, I want happiness, I don't want unhappiness. All that which gives me unhappiness, I don't want. That, so it creates raga and dvesha. That is greed or desire and hatredness. And due to that, I will be doing immoral deeds. So first thing is to understand this Lokiya Dhamma. So once I have understood the Lokiya Dhamma, is to let go of these dualities and try to see from a middle path that this is how it is going to be. Everyone will act differently. So when I get to that, the sila automatically gets established. Till that time, forcefully I need to be reciting, forcefully I need to apply the morality. Like a child who is being taught how to behave, in the same way we have to make the mind understand how to behave. So once the behavior happens, then there's no need to maintain or follow the moral precepts all the time, because it becomes an habit by itself. Now, another question is that what is the difference between Gatha and the Udana? Gatha are verses. So, just to be clear on that portion, in the Buddha Dhamma, there are Navanga Buddha Sasana, 9 dispensation. The entire Buddha teachings are divided into 9 parts. One is Sutta, that is discourses. Second one is Geya, which means a mixture of prose and text. Then Vyakarana, it is grammar on one side, and also an explanation or elaboration of that teaching in a very grammatical sense. Then the fourth one is Gatha, the verses. Fifth one is Udana, the question what is being asked, what is Udana? Udana is joyous utterances. It's actually utterance, but it's always joyous. So there is spontaneous utterance because they have seen something. So Buddha has uttered, all the bhikkhus have uttered, arhats have uttered. So it's also called as inspired utterances, because there is the person filled with joy will now utter something. Then iti uttaka. Iti uttaka means saying of the blessed ones. That is, the blessed one or the Buddha or the honored one has said something. So the saying, which is a mix of prose and verse. So the Gatha in one side, and also a complete prose of it. Then Jataka is the birth stories. Then Abhuta Dhamma, in Sanskrit Adbhuta Dhamma, extraordinary miracles and all that, extraordinary deeds. Then Vedala, that's like Mahavedala, Chula Vedala. Vedala means question and answers. So these are the 9 parts what we have. So in that, 2 of them, what has been asked is Udana, is utterances, wherein it is joyous utterances or inspired utterances, and Gatha is the verses where you can sing along with that. Then the next question is, should we refer to the Sutta all the time? Well, there are 3 parts. Sutta Pitaka, then Vinaya Pitaka, Abhidhamma. Vinaya Pitaka talks about the entire discipline, what a bhikkhu and bhikkhuni should have. Abhidhamma talks about the higher dhamma in terms of what is the nature of reality. Now, this Abhidhamma was done after Buddha. So some people don't take it. It's like some traditions don't really consider it. Some tradition 100% rely on it. Now, Sutta is referred by everyone. So the Nikayas are referred by everyone. If we are able to get what we want through the Sutta, it's the best thing. There's also another question associated. How do we know the Suttas are not manipulated, are not modified? Well, if you really experience a sutta, you will yourself come to know. But till that time, you have to take a pinch of salt and say that, yeah, maybe it works. So we need to refer to the sutta because that's the most easy. Su-atta. Atta is self. Su-atta. What can make one good? So if I can understand the sutta, it's better. But that doesn't mean that it's the only way around. There are other ways through which we can understand the Dhamma from Udana, from the Gatha, etc. But it's better on the Sutta. How does he know he or she is a Sotapanna? This is a question which keeps on coming to everyone's mind. Now, the only way to know for yourself is to see whether you doubt Buddha Dhamma. If the answer is yes, then you are not a Sotapanna. And second one is to know that whether if you read something on Buddha Dhamma or hear something on the Buddha Dhamma, anybody's video, I'm not saying that you should watch my video, anybody's video, anybody's audio, and you get pulled by that, if it is Buddha Dhamma, that means 100% you are an Anugami. That means a person who has come on the path by hearing to it. Now, what makes a person a Sotapanna is when he can discern the five aggregates. That is the Rupa, form, Vedana, feeling, Sanya, perception, Sankhara, preparation or choices, and Vijnana, consciousness. He is able to see, or she is able to see, that they can discern this without any issues, either through the Sutta, either through somebody's lectures or some discourses or some reading or whatever it is, that person is able to understand it. And when he understands or she understands, the Sila gets completely solidified in that person, because now he knows that that is the only refuge. So he or she doesn't break the Sila. And if it breaks, he knows he's broken it, so he fixes it. It's not that the person doesn't break it at all. He breaks, but he knows. In a normal person, the Sila is broken, but he doesn't know how it is broken. So these were the real killing questions which I thought I will address right now, and we will take further more questions in the next session. Thank you very much for watching. Hope that you got answers to it. Do write to us on what you would like to be answered, and would be more than happy to do so. Namo Buddhaya. Thank you.